My dear brothers and sisters, fellow travelers, Namaste. Last week, Sri Bhagavan ended with saying how life and afterlife were inseparable. The inside and outside were inseparable. The here and the hereafter were inseparable. In fact, Sri Bhagavan had hit at the root of all division. Bhagavan said that divisiveness was an illusion. Now, when Bhagavan says that all division is an illusion, then life and death, the divide between them also is most certainly an illusion, isn't it? Because unless we have a complete understanding of life, there cannot be a total understanding of death as well. And unless we have a complete understanding of death, there cannot be a complete understanding of life also. That is why this beautiful story that is spoken of in the Vedas, it's the story of this young sage called Nachiketa. Nachiketa is a very awakened soul. He's a young boy. One day his father performs a huge yaga, a huge sacrifice, at the end of which he's offering dhan to a lot of people, to a lot of Brahmins, to a lot of people who visit the yaga. Nachiketa also finds his father offering a lot of cows as dhan to people who come. He says that his father is not only offering healthy cows, but also cows that are barren and that can give milk no more, that cannot beget children anymore. When Nachiketa says this, he feels very sad for his father. He is worried about the punya that his father is supposed to earn. He feels that his father will be earning a tremendous demerit by offering this kind of cows as gifts to people. So he walks up to his father and he asks his father, "Father, I too am a possession of yours. To whom would you offer me?" The father looks at the son and says, "Son, go away." Nachiketa is persistent. He asks, "Father, to whom will you offer me?" The father will again chide the boy and ask him to go away. Nachiketa does not stop. The third time he again asks, "Father, please tell me, to whom would you give me as a gift?" In anger, the father says, "I give you as a gift to Yama, go." Nachiketa is very happy and he straight away goes to Yamaloka. But he finds that Yama is not at home, so he has to wait outside Yama's door for 3 days. On the third day, Yama arrives and is very sorry that such an enlightened boy, a sage, had to wait for 3 days for his arrival. And so Yama, in order to make up for his mistake, tells the boy, "Dear Nachiketa, because I made you wait for 3 days, I am prepared to grant you 3 boons. Ask me any 3 boons you want." And Nachiketa goes on asking the first 2 boons for his father, for his family. And the third boon he asks Yama is, "Dear Yama, you are the master of death, you are the knower of death. Will you educate to me about death itself? What happens on dying? Is there a continuity or is there not? Where does one go? Does one continue afterwards? Please educate to me about the nature of the spirit if there is one." Yama is absolutely shocked and surprised. He tells Nachiketa that this is too big a boon for such a young little boy. And so he tries to convince Nachiketa to ask for some other boon. But then Nachiketa stays firm in his resolve. He tells Yama, "Dear Yama, I need to definitely know what happens to me after death. Because if I do not know what happens to me after death, how do I know the true value of life itself? If I am going to continue in eternity, then my individual lifetime assumes tremendous importance. Therefore, please reveal to me." And at the end of the debate, Yama is supposed to have revealed the secrets of death to Nachiketa. Imagine the test Nachiketa had to stand before he could learn about death. Today, my dear friends, Sri Amma and Bhagavan, in their infinite grace, are going to reveal to us about the secrets of death. What exactly happens to us after death. What exactly happens to us in the afterlife? Therefore, go on to listening to Shri Bhagavan's message with utmost attention.
Loneliness is the fear of not being a somebody. Is this fear of being a nobody, a zero, not akin to the fear of death? Let us look into the process of the death of the body. Most people fear the symptoms and conditions accompanying death, not death itself. How could you fear that you have never known? Death is an experience of freedom. The spirit, unfettered by the limits of the body, moves towards the light. You are taken to the accompaniment of celestial music. In fact, your ancestors, your relatives and friends all come to take you. You pass through a tunnel in your spirit body, through the various worlds, before you meet the sentient, compassionate light. On this journey, you meet all those who played the roles of mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, children, friends and enemies from various lifetimes. You recognize you are a very ancient being with numerous experiences and countless identities. Life, no matter how it was lived, is a spiritual experience when viewed from eternity.
You conquer death, you conquer life. Shri Bhagavan is right now revealing to us the various secrets of death. And Bhagavan began with inquiring into loneliness. Bhagavan asked, is not the fear of loneliness akin to the fear of death? Think of it. What exactly is this experience of loneliness? When do you feel lonely? You could be living in a crowd, yet you feel lonely. You could be in the midst of activity, you could be in the midst of hustle and bustle, still you feel lonely. Why loneliness at all? Loneliness is the fear of being a nobody. It is the fear of not being a somebody. Think of it. You only think of yourself in terms of you being a father of so-and-so, a son of so-and-so, an employee of so-and-so, a husband of so-and-so. You come into existence given all these identities. You come into existence given your achievements, given your career, your track record. Now what happens in moments of loneliness is when relationships begin to fail, you suddenly see you are no more the husband of somebody. Physically you might still be, but then internally when you know that your wife does what made you, you realize you're not a husband. You are a nobody to her. Let us say your children grow up and they're able to tell you that they don't need you. In fact, they're able to behave in a way that they no more need your advice, they no more need your solace, they no more need your support. What happens to you? You suddenly are becoming a nobody. You thought you were a somebody. You thought you were a person who is indispensable. And suddenly you begin to realize that people can still live without you. That is loneliness. You thought this position meant something to you, that you were an officer who could not be disregarded in your company, that your company cannot survive without you. And suddenly you realize that people can still get along without you. Success is still possible without your ideas, without your creativity. The resultant experience is loneliness. It is where you are becoming a nobody. That is psychological death. Let us listen to the statement of Shri Bhagavan once again.
Loneliness is the fear of not being a somebody. Is this fear of being a nobody, a zero, not akin to the fear of death? Let us look into the process of the death of the body. Most people fear the symptoms and conditions accompanying death, not death itself. How could you fear that you have never known?
Until now we saw psychological death. What about physical death? Now, when we see a corpse being carried on the road, we immediately get scared. We're not very comfortable with the idea of seeing the dead body being carried on the road. Suppose when you were to see the death of somebody, the passing away of somebody in a dream, you wake up in the morning feeling a little inauspicious, feeling a little scared, a little worried, a little out of place. Why? For some it could even border on paranoia. Why do we fear death so much? Because we've often seen people dying in very untoward circumstances. We have seen death happening through an accident. We have seen death happening through a disease, through a prolonged illness, or after debilitating old age. We have seen people suffer for a long time before they have passed away. And we have also seen people weep after death. Death is always perceived to be some kind of loss. That is why we fear death. But then, look at the question Bhagavan asked you just now. How could you fear that which you have never known? You go to a place and it's frightening. It is understandable that you fear it. But you've never died before. Why do you fear it? Do you really fear death? Or do you fear the circumstances and the conditions that surround death? Nobody knows death. We only know the circumstances that surround death. Death itself is a marvelously liberating experience. If you would like to have some kind of an understanding of it, think of seeing the birds soaring in the sky. All of us at some time or the other have had the desire to fly like the birds, to soar in the skies, to move unfettered on wings. Do you know death is a much, much more beautiful experience than that? Don't think I'm encouraging you to die. Death should come naturally, not that you go towards death. That's a horrible thing. Why? You will understand in the weeks to come. When the spirit leaves the body, it experiences freedom. And as soon as the spirit leaves the body, it is sucked into a tunnel. It is sucked into a tunnel at the end of which is a light. The spirit is moving along this tunnel. And what does the spirit experience on this journey? On this journey, you enter into various worlds, you visit various lokas, and in these worlds, you see people with whom you were connected in your previous incarnations. You meet people who have played the role of wives, who have played the roles of children, who have played the roles of friends, enemies, in-laws, parents. In fact, you meet a whole host of people. And as you look at them, it's an enormous spiritual experience. You realize you're a very ancient being with numerous memories and countless identities. You're not that one individual with that one memory of one lifetime. When you could be asked there, who are you? What would you tell you are? Would you say you're a beggar? Would you say you're a prince? Would you say you were a leper? Would you say you were a horse? What would you say you were? Because you have in front of you memories of all those lifetimes. You have millions of identities. Who are you exactly? You're a being with numerous experiences. That is why Sri Bhagavan says, life when viewed from eternity, no matter how it was lived, is a spiritual experience. You could have suffered a lifetime of financial crisis, or perhaps 30 years of illness, or maybe you constantly suffered broken relationships. No matter what pain you underwent or what pleasure you underwent in life, life ultimately is a spiritual experience because it's a treasure trove. It's a storehouse of learning for you. You went down to learn and you learned and came back. That is why Sri Amma Bhagavan has always maintained that life ultimately is a quest to know oneself. At the end of this journey, you're standing in awe at the unbelievable expansion that unfolds in consciousness, that which you call life. In this context, I remember the story of a farmer. I believe there's a farmer who is asleep and does not wake up early in the morning. His wife goes and shakes him up and scolds him. She in fact yells at him and tells him, our only son is sick and you man is spending your early morning hours in dreaming. Get up, nurse your son's fever. Get up, do something about it. The man wakes up with a smile and he says, just now I was dreaming that I was a king, that I had 7 very, very noble and worthy sons who were fighting a war and were dying for the sake of the nation. They were offering their lives at the altar of the nation. What do you think should be in my nation right now? I'm not really sure if I'm a king who's dreaming. I'm a farmer with 1 little son, with poverty surrounding me. Or if I'm a farmer who's dreaming that I'm a king with 7 noble sons. This exactly is how every one of us feels after we are gone, one standing there facing this multitude of people who were once part of our life. At that point, the division between illusion and reality also dies. All divisiveness is gone. Right now, close your eyes for a while, deeply inhale and exhale, and chant the Mula Mantra along with me. Inhale and exhale. Take deep breaths. Now chant the Mula Mantra along with me. Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavate Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Continue to keep your eyes closed and listen to this statement of Shri Bhagavan. Let these words reverberate in your heart.
Death is an experience of freedom. The spirit, unfettered by the limits of the body, moves towards the light. You are taken to the accompaniment of celestial music. In fact, your ancestors, your relatives and friends all come to take you. You pass through a tunnel in your spirit body, through the various worlds, before you meet the sentient, compassionate light. On this journey, you meet all those who played the roles of mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, children, friends and enemies from various lifetimes. You recognize you are a very ancient being with numerous experiences and countless identities.
Now, say this inner incantation to yourself. Repeat this inner incantation every morning over the next 7 days. I'm an ancient being with countless memories and numerous identities. Thank you. You can now open your eyes and see you again next week. Don't forget to say this to yourself every morning in your meditation. Thank you.
It's amazing.
We learn not only about the body, but also experience and live life.
I feel I am alive now. I started living life.
As a scientist, I pursue this course as a fusion between spirituality, microbiology and biotechnology.
I feel complete. There was so much about the body which I never knew. I discovered my body is a living miracle. I just enjoyed doing the exercises. I never knew they would be of so much of fun, and they were just amazing.
It is the best holistic health program I have ever seen.
Health is definite.
Health course is like a life capsule. I discovered myself, the new me.
So long, disease was my friend, but now my health and my body is my best friend. I feel I am 16 now.
For the first time, I danced in my life. I am like a child experiencing my life now.
The child in me is awakened.
I feel my batteries are charged for life.
Every moment of my life is only dance and enjoyment.
It's not just about reducing your weight, it's also knowing about your body.
It gives you something more than health. I thoroughly enjoyed the course. It's really a complete program.
Exercising my body has become so easy. I've started taking care of my body.
I loved Oneness Health course. The campus, the teaching, the walk, the diet, the technique. I really feel I'm blessed. It made me connect. It made me happy. I'm happy. I got my success.
It was a very powerful process.
This course has given me is tremendous.
Really felt I'm at the top of the peak.
My life was totally changed.
I'm a real youth now. I've transformed completely. I learned a very secret mantra.
These are the sounds.
शिवा त्रिनयनि कात्यायनी भैरवी